Now, the biggest question is, can you lose money investing in bonds? Retail savings bond is an investment with the government of South Africa, which earns fixed or inflation interest for the term of the investment. South Africa's retail savings bonds have been created by the National Treasury to erase the difficulty for retail investors to directly buy bonds from the government on traditional platforms like the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, better known as JSE. Who are the retail investors that were enabled the opportunity to purchase the government retail bonds from the JSE? Well, this is you and me, or anyone else that is interested in becoming an investor in South Africa. Retail savings bonds are available as fixed rate, which is a series consisting of 2, 3, and 5-year terms, payment date until maturity. Meaning that you cannot just buy this bond today and sell it tomorrow. You cannot just withdraw your interest anytime as you like to. You will have to wait for a period of 2, 3, or 5 years until your bond matures. Then you can get your rewards. Different interest applies to different maturities in this series. Meaning, if you bought a 2-year bond, don't expect to get the same rewards as the person who bought a 5-year bond, because your interest will not be the same, since your 2-year bond will mature faster than the person who's holding a bond for 5 years. Then we have an inflation-linked retail savings bond. This one allows you to buy and hold the bond from 3 years, 5 years, 10 years upwards until it reaches its maturity. Capital invested in inflation-linked retail savings bonds are inflation adjusted over the term, and floating interest rate is payable every 6 months on the interest payment dates. The minimum amount that can be invested when purchasing bonds is 1,000 rands, and your investment is not allowed to exceed 5 million rands. It is very important to know that bonds cannot be sold to the secondary market. As an investor, if you purchase these bonds, you will be tied to your investments, you will be tied to those bonds until they reach their maturity. You can apply for withdrawal after 12 months if you feel strain on holding it, or if you are pressed and you need this money. But there will be heavy penalties to be paid, and you will potentially lose all your interest. So maybe you'll just end up getting your initial deposit. So it's not worth it. If you purchase a bond, the best thing you can do for yourself is to just hold it, wait until it reaches its maturity, so there's at least you'll make profits out of it. That's the whole point, right? Is to save your money while it makes more money. So it doesn't actually really make sense why you would purchase and withdraw, lose all your interest. One of the advantages of purchasing bonds is that they rise and fall less dramatically. Their prices fluctuate less, unlike in the stock markets or the forex markets. The stock market jumps, like Tesla this day was here and next day it's up there if it's rising, and it's better if the bond is rising because it's going on your way, right? It's boosting your interest right than when it's falling. South African government bonds are considered as low risk because they are backed by full faith and credit of the government. They are considered as the safest way of preserving your capital. I do agree when it comes to the part of being the best way of preserving your capital. Not the best, but one of the best, because you get to preserve your capital while your capital also generates you more income. The disadvantages is the fact that historically bonds have provided lower long-term returns, especially compared to stocks and trading in general. If I were to choose between investing in anything, anytime, compared to trading, I would take trading over and over again. But compared to stocks, investing in bonds compared to investing in stocks, remember that I did say that like the stock market moves crazily, like it jumps usually when it moves, especially if it's moved overnight or the next day, it's just jumped like that. And bonds fluctuate slowly than stocks, which is, I think, is best for beginner investors, non-forex traders, people who are scared of approaching the market. So I think that bonds, like investing in bonds, would be the great way to begin for a beginner investor, because they will hold your emotions here. But because they don't move dramatically, do expect to make just a minimum interest as it goes up, and do expect if it goes against you, because that's how investing is like. It goes your way and then it goes against you. Sometimes it's part of the journey. So if it goes against you, you will lose tiny bits. You will not lose drastically, dramatically. So it gives you room and space to breathe and control your emotions as you win or lose. Another disadvantage is that bond prices fall when interest rates go up. This is a very good information, especially if you are trading bonds, because you know when the interest rates are released, you can make a lot of money. So I'm giving you a gem right there. If you want to trade bonds, take heed on this information and go to the broker on my description box. Sign up with this broker and start trading bonds. Plus, if you trade bonds, it's not like investing in bonds. You trade now and you make money today. And if you lose money today. That's how trading is like. That is why people are not a big fan of trading, but it's one of the quickest way to growing your money or losing your money. Same things to investing. It's just that investing, you make it slower and you lose it slower. And obviously, long-term bonds will suffer from fluctuations as the interest rates rise and fall. The biggest disadvantage is that if you invest in retail bonds and many other bonds, you will still have to pay tax. You're just gonna have to get used to it. In South Africa, we pay tax literally. Like, there's no other country I know that pays tax more than South Africa. Like, we are taxed in this and this and this and this. We are taxed everywhere. We pay tax. So also in trading, we pay tax. That is why I'm saying, guys, like, investing and trading are literally the same. It's just that in trading, you make money and lose it today, like now. In investing, you make it tiny and you lose it tiny if you lose. So it takes time to completely blow your account. It may take you even a whole year before you blow. Whereas in trading, you blow today. And not just today, within a minute, within minutes or even seconds. And if you flip it now, like within minutes or seconds. So trading is the best way of investing. And yeah, if you want to learn how to trade, check my description box. There's an email there. Use it. Now, the biggest question is, can you lose money investing in bonds, especially if they are held to maturity? And the answer is a big yes. Investing carries some degree of risk. There are no guarantees that you will make your money back. There's a credit risk. There's a risk that the bond issuer may default in 1, 2, or several payments before the bond reaches maturity. And should that happen, expect that you can lose some or all of your investment amount. But if that doesn't happen, then you will make money. Now, what are the penalties of early withdrawal on South African retail bonds? If you do that, get yourself ready to lose all the interest earned in your investment. Now, let's talk about the interest rates on South Africa's retail bonds. As of March 2025, the RSA Retail Savings Bonds offers a fixed rate of 2% on 2 years bonds, 9.25% for 3-year bonds, and 5.25% for 5 years bonds.